In this video, I'll be sharing with you a requested illustration on how to cut this stylish flare dress with exaggerated collar. So to start, we are going to draft out the front part of this pattern. Now you have to mark out the extension in front, which will serve as the collar of your dress. So when marking out this side, you should consider your shoulder measurement divided by 2 because it's supposed to like overlap at your shoulder. So I marked the shoulder to bust, under bust, waist and blouse length. So for this pattern, I'm cutting it on a miniature size. So let's start by marking the shoulder divided by 2 at this point. After marking that, I'm going to go ahead to come down by 1 inch there, right? Now mark your neckline of 3.5 inches by 3 inches, right? The width is 3.5, the depth I used there is 3 inches. Although we are still going to alter the neckline of this dress, go ahead to connect. After connecting, what you do is to go ahead to connect from the shoulder to that shoulder slant. The next step is to find your chest line, which is your bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. I'll go ahead to make a mark there and draw a straight line, right? So place back your tape at that point, starting from that line, and mark your shoulder divided by 2 and draw a line connecting all the way up. After connecting there, find the midpoint and come out by ½ inch. On the chest line, mark your bust circumference divided by 4, connect from the midpoint to the upper part, and from that point to your bust circumference divided by 4. Now after marking this, make sure you blend out. Let's go ahead to mark our dart. I'll start by marking the nipple to nipple divided by 2. Now I'm going to mark this starting from the bust, under bust, waist and blouse length, and I'll place my ruler to draw a straight line all the way down, going or towards the upper part. And after marking this, I'm going to connect from the midpoint of my armhole to the bust point this way. Next step is to start marking my dart. I'll mark ½ inch here, 1.5 here. If you're a plus size, mark 1 inch here and 2 inches on the other side, right? So I'm just going to go ahead to place my ruler and I'll connect at both sides of this pattern. After connecting, I'll connect from here now all the way going down to the other side, and I'll repeat this towards this part. Now I'm going to place my curved rule, connect to the under bust, and also connect at the other side of my pattern, right? So the next step I'll take is to mark ½ inch on both sides, and I will be blending this in. Now after blending in towards this side, I'll blend the other side of this pattern. ½ inch I took out on both sides, I'll go ahead to replace it by 1 inch at the lower part of the armhole. Now I'll start inserting my measurement. I'm going to mark my bust circumference divided by 4. That's that intake I have at the armhole of the dress, and I'll add additional sewing allowance to it. I'll mark my under bust circumference divided by 4, measure the dart intake I have here, replace and add my sewing allowance. Mark your waist circumference divided by 4, measure your dart intake, replace and also add your sewing allowance. Use any sewing allowance of your choice. Here you're going to mark your hip circumference divided by 4 and add your sewing allowance. Please use any sewing allowance of your choice, and I'm just going to go ahead to connect. So I'll just go ahead and connect this all the way down and also connect to the blouse length of this pattern. After I'm done connecting, this is what I have. I'll rule a line at the lower part, and this will be serving as my blouse length. Now I'm going to draw the hemline of this dress, and I'm going to give it a slight curve. I'll still go ahead to readjust after I'm done cutting. So I'll just connect this. Next thing is to mark your bust dart, and to get your bust dart is the difference between your shoulder to waist in front and your shoulder to waist at the back. And I'll go ahead to connect. Now after this, connect from your neckline to the lower part of your bust, because that is where the collar of this dress will start. Now I will now mark this, slant it down and then slant this up. Then I'll be cutting out the rest of this pattern, and we will now go ahead to work on the overlapping collar of this dress. So I'm also supposed to cut out the collar for cut out the back pattern of this dress, but I didn't get to see the back, and I don't know what is originally at the back of this dress. So this is what you'll be having. Like when you fold it over to this side, this will now overlap as your collar. Now we're going to work on the neckline of this dress, and I'll place my tape to connect. So when I'm connecting, I'll make sure that what I have on this side overlaps the actual shoulder of this dress at least by 0.3 or 0.5 inches, so that when you join your collar, probably it has a joining to that of the back, it will overlap. But even if it doesn't have a joining to the back collar of this dress, it's going to relax at the shoulder. So I'm supposed to draft the back, but I don't really have the picture for the back pattern, so I'm just working on the front part of this pattern, right? So now I'm just going to go ahead to flip this over, then I'll go ahead to start readjusting it up. So I'm just slanting it up, and from there make sure that it covers your shoulder, and get the measurement, like how wide you want the collar to be. So while going down, you can go ahead to slant it to not cut it in a straight form. And then from this neckline here, I'm just going to connect this all the way and create like a curve towards that part, right? And after doing that, I will be cutting this out. So if you have any question regarding this part of this illustration, please go ahead to leave or ask your question. So I'll just cut this open and cut the other side. Also, the other side of this pattern, I'll come up by 2 inches and I'll connect, creating like a curve before going ahead to cut out my pattern. So after cutting out, while cutting, blend out your dart also. Now I'll go ahead to place this and make sure it relaxes. If I'm not okay with it, I'll go ahead to readjust. So now I'm going to go ahead to cut this open. Like I drew a line there, I'll cut this open. This is to give that flare effect we have on this part of this dress, right? And I'll open it up this way. What you do is to place another pattern underneath it, and you're going to draw this out. This will help give that full flare effect we have on the lower part of this dress. After this, I'll go ahead to trace it out, and I will cut this out, right? So after cutting this, I'm done with that part, and what I'll do is to go ahead to cut out this dart area of this pattern. And while cutting this dress, remember you're going to be cutting 2 parts again, and at the center you'll be adding like a joining allowance for the other side.